on a little bit so that it's not on anymore here. Warming up. It's good, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. Bas Rutten. Let me double check. Oh, there's messages already. Yes, somewhere on. Oh, I don't have to check.
Uh-oh.
What's up, what's up, what's up, Atos? Let me see who made it. Who is that? Tony.
And then Rob and Aramis.
All three at the same time.
Tied.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Aramis, Rob Goal, and Tony Garcia. Paul Logan, you're fourth. But officially you're second. But, well, you lost. That's what it means, being second. Oh, I was second. Oh, so you lost. That's such a annoying thing to do. But you don't understand, it was the Olympics. Best people in the world. You know, how sad is that? So, you Usain Bolt, right? You blast, and then your opponent runs like 1/10 of a second slower than you. Nobody's going to remember him.
Yeah, that's
Everybody goes to the
tough.
That's a tough one, right?
Olympics are tough. Those people,
Yeah.
that's obviously the elite of the elite. And
Yeah.
putting their whole life into that.
Yeah. I can see Henry Cejudo, huh? What a freaking athlete that guy is. Olympic gold wrestling champion, and then he became UFC champion in 2 weight classes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and now he retired. 33. But he said, if you ever get some good money, I'll come back. So that's a big nephew to the UFC, I guess.
I guess so.
It's sad because those lightweights, the bantamweights and the flyweights, they don't get paid as much because they're just not a pool.
Really?
Like if they have a pay-per-view deal, and sometimes they get like 160,000 pay-per-view buys. Oh, it's so weird. And the other fighters get 800,000, 600,000. So
yeah, that is weird. They're doing just as much.
Yeah, and I like the pace with those guys. Go fast.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah.
How
Get your legs
is
warm.
everyone doing?
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Oh, these ones are so long. My baby hands. Alright, so just rotating your hips, 3 to the left, 3 to the right. Right over ready. Yeah. Dana and I have an interview at 1 o'clock. I'm going to see if I can put this link in my bio now. Oh,
Cool guy named Chris. His mission is to unite people in mixed martial arts.
Unite people.
Uniting is always good because we accomplish way more together than separately. So that is good. Hello.
You guys rotate your upper bodies.
Rotate. Oh, we need to go. It's not refreshing. I knew something. Whenever we go back. Okay. Hey, Scott. It's 1 here. You're late, Scott says. Hey, Batman.
Okay. So, let me see. Oh, here it is. I hope I can. Live event. Okay, good.
Yes,
Share.
on his YouTube. And
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Okay, what do I do now?
He's Karate Unity on
Copy.
Instagram.
Okay, so go to my Instagram account and then in my bio, you can click on the bio. And in about 20 seconds, well, made faster because I'm super fast. It's now done. You can click on it at 1 o'clock. That's just me. Yeah, you see how that goes? Oh, okay. Stretch your hamstrings and your forearms. Stretch your hamstrings and your forearms. I think I kicked Fabian this morning with a nail, with my nail. And so I started bleeding. I had blood on my
Oh yeah, I see that.
blood. Switch heads, blood.
Ouch.
But yesterday, our dog, we had this laser pointer, and our dog gets crazy with a laser pointer.
What is he, part cat? That's usually a cat thing.
He goes nuts, and he's like, whoosh. So he comes around the corner, with his nails, he's slipping, right hand again, and he jams one of his nails into my toe.
Ow.
And that's what I said. I go, ow! And that was a dog. I go, yeah, oh, look at this. I started bleeding.
Oh, wow.
But he got a cut last week, so I think they were probably sharp.
Yeah.
Still. Switch your hand again, last time.
Does he freak out when he gets his nails cut?
We let them do Debbie Grumble say that because we're not gonna.
Do they tell you? Because most
No.
dogs.
Most dogs can't send it, eh?
Yes. They act like you're trying to amputate a toe or something.
That's it. You're such a funny dog.
They're total drama.
Drama.
He's already stretched out, just FYI.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Fall back. Go to the front.
In the face. We need something to cover the sound.
Oh, from the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear my tenants. I hear them pull. Like rope, I remember 36. I tore my bicep, but just throw the left hook in the air. Like a distraction hook, and I freaking tore my biceps. And it was just 2 days after my birthday.
Oh.
I just turned 36. And my buddy goes, don't worry about it, man. It's not a big deal that your papers now tear like rice paper. I guess. Okay, let's go spar.
Let's go spar.
Yeah, that's my answer to everything.
Yeah. We head kick you.
Oh yeah.
Liver kick.
I made an armbar on him so tight as Darren, my buddy. That might, that knot that you have where Achilles has where they have the wings out normally, the lump here next to the Achilles heel, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was so tight, it went over his head and split him open.
Oh my god.
And he's sitting and he's dripping blood. Oh, my head. I go, come on, don't be a pussy, dude. Don't do that. It's a cut. It's a flesh wound. Just a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound.
Yeah, who cares? It's only pain. It won't hurt. Okay, make it wide again, and then we go forward one more time. Yeah.
Extra stiff today.
Okay. Pull your legs in. Zo. Zo. We do the face to the feet again. FTF.
To the face. In the face.
She loves that. From the hangover. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh good. Shoulders. Hands behind you. Slide your butt away from your hands. Okay, wiggle them slowly but surely forward. I'm feeling them from yesterday from the shoulder raises.
You just read my mind. I was going to ask everyone how they're feeling after yesterday's workout.
Yeah. Oh,
And then one of our other people, John, we were talking about
been talking about some kettlebell workouts, so I gave him a couple extra kettlebell moves to try, and he liked them. He's like, oh yeah, definitely feeling those.
Yeah, kettlebells.
Kettlebells are fun.
Yeah, well. Not right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I shoulder one more time. I'll try that. Bonk, bonk. Hush. Okay. Woo! I'm feeling it.
Feeling it. It's more technique today.
Yeah.
That's good. Good to have a little lesson after.
Nice shirt, Dana. That's what they say.
Oh yeah. I like this one.
Can we get some drills today? How to put power in our punches while moving? Well, we kind of went it over on Monday, right? With the distance drill, or Tuesday, what was that? What we did this week?
Tuesday. It was Tuesday.
Yeah. So, punching power comes from the floor. We all know that. There's some guys who break all the rules. I mean, I know, and they still hit like freaking crazy. Like Benji Reddick. Dude, he's 170, I believe, or 185. Man, he hits so hard. It's so crazy. And sometimes he does it standing on one leg. So you can only imagine if he would put his foot on the floor, pushing off on the back foot, what kind of power it would generate then. Some people have that just an arm punch. It's so bizarre. This wrestling is really good. I saw some really good wrestlers who are big in MMA, but let me mention their name, tooling him, like at this gym. Just drop them on their heads. And that with that crazy power it has. Oof. So, but in general, it would make no sense. You remember I started talking about last time, if I want to push Dana away, I can never do that on one leg because I'm going to push myself away. I'm going to need his back foot on the floor in order to push off. There's your answer for straight punches. Same counts. If I stand on two legs and I try over one leg and I try to push it to the side, can't do that. Because I move myself. But if I put 2 feet on the floor, now I can use the floor and push it to the side. What does that mean? Straight punches, left and right, you push up on your back foot. Hooks, uppercuts, it's on 2 feet on the ground. Pivoting, like I said, I'm not a big fan of pivoting. I think the best strikers on the planet, the hardest strikers on the planet, are not doing it. They say they do, but they don't do it when you see them hitting knocking people out. And that's where I look at. I look, what do they do at the moment when they knock something? I'm a research guy. I just see things. If I watch a boxing or a kickboxing match, it doesn't matter, MMA, whatever it is. Most of the time I detect it before it happens. But if he suddenly drops somebody with a punch, a cool punch, I'm going to go, I wonder if he set it up and maybe I didn't see it. And then when you rewind, sometimes you find out there's a certain way that he set up that punch, and then it works really well, So then I go, and you know what I do? I steal it. That's what I do. I have little notes in my phone. I write the combination in there, and then I try it out in class. And that's what I did with everything, with submissions, with everything. With a setup, hey, that's a cool setup. Write it down and start doing it yourself. And that's how you get better. And some of them, they don't really fit for you. So, I would still try it in the beginning, like force yourself to try it. But if it doesn't really doesn't work, get rid of it. Also think about this. The more you love something, the more you love to do it, right? That means that the things that you don't like in fighting are probably the things that you suck at. Because if you go back to school, what subject did you excel? The ones that you enjoy. All the ones you don't enjoy, math. Oh, okay. You see, that's what me as a kid, locked out. I don't need to know math. Yeah, but boss, you have to know how much the square circle is if you, for instance, become a painter. I said, first of all, I'm not going to become a painter. Second of all, if I would be a painter, you know what I do? I see the table and I go, I'm going to buy that bucket of... He says, okay, I get it, but what if you have to, like a football field big? I said, I never have to do it. I said, I just buy a lot of paint. And then the paint that I have over, I bring back and then I get my money back. So he said, okay, we got to use it. As a kid, you don't want to listen to those things. But everything you enjoy, you want to do that a lot. But it's most of the time you don't enjoy it because you don't understand it. So, if you, for instance, have a really bad left kick and you start working on that kick, and it's really annoying because you can't seem to master it, keep on doing it. Everything that you suck at, that's what you want to work at the most. Suddenly when you start getting it, now because you're getting it, you start understanding it, and once you understand it, now it becomes more enjoyable. Once it becomes more enjoyable, you're going to do it a lot. And once you do it a lot, bada bing, bada boom, you become good at it. So that in every job, there's always something. That's what I do in my talks. I talk about that. There's always something in your job that you don't like. You know? And whatever it is you don't like it, you'll suck at that. Because you don't want to. Like, you don't want to understand it. Try to understand it. So that's what I did with fighting. I just broke everything down. Physics. Where is the power? The movement. You know what I'm talking about. This is the best movement for equally moving forward, backwards, and to the side. Nobody can say it's not. It's 100% true. Ask any person. Is it good for martial arts? Yeah, 100% is good for martial arts. It's good for martial arts. I just don't like the blading position because you shut your whole left side down. Anyway, so power comes from the back foot. That's important. And then you want to try to do everything here in class with exaggeration. Say the jab counter that we did. If she gives me a jab, I'm pushing it to the side and I go back with the 1-2. But see how far I'm doing it. In the fight, I'm probably only going to do this, 1, 2, 3. But in class, I would like to exaggerate because the more I exaggerate in class, the more it will come back in the fight. Because my line is always, if you go to a fight, your mind tells you you're overdoing it, right? But if only 20% comes back from what you're doing here, that's a great thing. If you don't do it here, 20% from nothing is nothing, and then you're going to completely shut down in the fight. So the more you do it here, the faster you're going to be, the more you tell your muscles to contract faster, and that's where all the power comes from. Everything is upper body rotation. For your kicks, for your counters, for your legs, for your punches, for everything. Think about this. You see this line here, right? And I see this line here, I have to. There's a line here. Now, if I stand in bladed position, this is the length of my right straight. Right? Now look, I'm going to stand here. I still keep the foot behind the thing, but look. Now suddenly I got this much more of a reach with my right straight. That's a long reach. It's much more. That's like 6 inches almost. That's what you also have if you stand with a wider stance. The only thing, what I always tell you, your wider target, don't care about that. Your defense will automatically become better. Okay, so then it's all about the moment of impact with a perfect punch. You know, you want to preferably hit at the end of your punch. That's when it has the most power. The way I explain it, what makes sense to people, is when I have a bow and arrow and I pull it here and I let go, it probably goes this deep into Dana's body. But if I give it space, now it's going to go straight through. And that's the same with a strike. So the longer it is, the more power, speed it can pick up. And then at the end, you want to punch. That's why we have all these little tricks, you know, because squeezing your hand. Why do you start squeezing your hand? At the end of your punch. Because you can't start constantly squeezing because you're freaking your opponent out. He's going to be on his toes. But if you know how to relax and go, you see, then you can explode into a technique. If it goes like this, you kind of see the punches coming. But if you relax, pop, then they can pop them out and they have more power. But the trick is, of course, if you have a punch, you want to squeeze. Because you want to make that fist hard, especially on the street. You hit it with a soft fist, well, you're going to break your hand. That's why I like to bring targets to opponents. You know, suddenly bring my head. The example I used from a fighter was, he threw me a big overhand in my neck and I asked him not to throw that punch because it was the first sparring class after 3.5 years. And he still did it. I said, okay, do it, use whatever you want. Next time, I'm going to really mess up your head now. I'll warn you now. So he started laughing, and in the same round, he threw an overhand again, and this is what I did. Boom. And he hit the top of my head. It was on the ground. Ah, what's going on? I go, I told you, I'm going to hurt your hand. You know, if you want to throw it. And it's the only thing you have to do is to lean into it. Now, what happens if you think about it, normally he hits the target here, right? So he starts squeezing at the end of his punch. But if I give an overhead and suddenly I bring the target here, his hand is not squeezing yet because he didn't expect the target to be here. And now if he hits the top of your head with his tiny hand bones, there is no real power in it yet. There will be power in it, but nothing that you can't deal with, trust me, because you're cutting off the distance. Instead of letting him punch here, suddenly you bring the target over here. There's not a lot of power, head is relaxed, it's going to hurt a lot, or you're going to break your hand. Without a glove, I guarantee you, if he wouldn't have had a glove, he would have broken his hand. Now, that is another thing. Breathing, right? We're talking about it. If somebody breathes in, that's when he's very vulnerable. You can do 3,000, 4,000 sit-ups a day. It doesn't matter. If you breathe in, you're going to get knocked out to the body if somebody tags you there. So finding the breathing pattern, what do you think is the reason, when in the beginning they never say go for the body. They always say once an opponent gets tired, go for the body. Because now he starts breathing at a higher rate. It's harder for him to time the punches because he needs air. And sometimes he breathes in, and then when they punch, they go down. I always say at parties, there's always these kids, and if they find out you're a fighter, they always want to hit your gut, right? They want to hit you in the stomach because they want to feel how strong it is. And there's always that little douchebag that you don't see when you go flex, 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 you talk to somebody and you're breathing in and suddenly he nails you with a punch. And then you need the poker face in order to show that little man just really messed you up because otherwise you're going to lose face, right? It always happens like that. So, and that's just a little kid doing it. So you can imagine a punch or kick or a knee or an elbow, whatever it is, it's going to hurt. So, what can you do with those things? I was talking about it in the other class on Saturday. You can start timing. You can give patterns, certain punch patterns on the ground. If Dana couldn't see me and I would start hitting her body, she flexed, boom, and I give her a pattern, she does that flexing on this rhythm. And I feel, boom, if I make suddenly a double punch, I will catch her on the breathing in. They go, yeah, but boss, that punch is not hard. It's hard enough to knock you out, to the body. That's how powerful it is. And especially if I'm going to do it to the solar plexus. First of all, I'm going to hit him in the gut, don't go too fast. Boom, boom. Suddenly make a double punch, and a double punch, of course, you hit the solar plexus with. And when they breathe in, boom, you got it. Works on every muscle as well. Works also on the leg muscles. If you don't flex with a low kick, and we talked about it 2 days ago, I think, because I was talking about my last fight, when I felt my shin bone touch his thigh bone, I almost heard it. Click, bone on bone. I knew this fight was going to be over. And that happens a lot. Now, I can force myself, my opponent to have that one, by simply pushing her away. If I push her away, this leg is going to be relaxed, and then I kick. Simultaneously, push, kick. If I do push and kick, then they can flex. If I do push, kick, they can't flex. It's very hard, especially if they don't know what you're going to do. Now you're going to go, yeah, but boss, that kick is not going to be as hard. I know it's not going to be as hard because you're doing simultaneously push and a kick. There's not a lot of power in there, but I'm telling you, you're really going to feel this. You do this with the shin guards, people are going to get hurt in class. That's how powerful this is. Actually, I believe Roman Decker started with that because we had a drill he first, what he did, he would be in the clinch, knees, and then would suddenly push his opponent away and then kick him right away in the head. So then everybody in the hall started doing that. People started dropping left and right. But, of course, within 2 or 3 fights, everybody knows this. So then, when they got pushed away, they bring their hands up for the head kick. And then Rob Deckers gave him a low kick. And that is so effective because that muscle is relaxed and the shin goes straight through it. So all these tricks you have to use. Now, this is all nice and easy in training, but under stress, that's a whole different ballgame. I've seen guys who are super good in this class, and you put them in a fight. Now it's with all the people shouting and they can't perform, And some people, most of the time, it takes a few fights to get into it. Like my first few fights, chaos, So I didn't know anything what I was doing. It was just throwing punches in the cage, whatever, So, and some, it takes a long time. Some never get it. Some put more and more pressure on themselves. If you're one of those persons, I always say, I probably said it in the Q&A, if you have your very first fight, try to do it out of state. Don't tell anybody you're going to fight. Fly out of state. Fight the fight. If you win, you can tell people. If you lose, you don't even have to tell anybody. This way, you have no pressure on yourself for your first few fights. Highly recommend that. It's hard because we all have egos. Hey man, I'm going to fight next week. I'm fighting mixed martial arts. Cage fight. That's what I'm going to do. Cage fight. I had a guy like that. Man, we would go to Subway and would say, okay, so what can I have for you? He says, I'll take a chicken sandwich because I have a fight coming up next weekend. He would speak very loud. And I go, dude, stop. We would go to training at 24-hour fitness. And then when we sit in the jacuzzi, he would always start talking about his fight coming up. Oh, wow. I said, okay. So I made a rule. No more shirts with fighting on it. And no more talking about fighting. If there's other people with us, who are not fighters. If we were there with fighters, we talk about fighting, that's okay. But as soon as a regular person comes in, shut up, Now, because now you want to say it because you want them to know that you're a fighter. Those are the guys with the cage fighters, not the mixed martial artists. So give me a business card with the pumped up bodies, and it's a professional cage fighter. Here's the card. He says, you can keep that. I don't even want it. Professional cage fighter? Come on, dude. We're unbelievable. So, coming back, what can we do? Let's start doing the technique. Let's do the jab counter. Okay, we're going to do a few, what is it? Slips. Slips are coming back, but fast coming back. That's the trick in here. Okay, so it's a move and right away come back with a punch. Move, punch. Da. Go fast. So what you really need to fire up those are your core. Because you're going to move and right away when you move, you come back with a punch. Da. Right punch. Move, punch. Move, punch. We're going to go fast. So I'll put on some gloves. I know there's a lot of talking, but unfortunately...
We're not warm yet, so
everything. Oh, shoot! Oh man, I completely forgot.
It's okay. Let's just do...
that's okay. We can,
Or start slow.
We start slow.
Okay.
We start slow. Good, you said it. Look at me. All over the place.
So it's because you're warm with that.
Yeah, but my body was working out this morning here, so early in the morning. So, so watch out. So don't go too fast right now. We're just going to warm up. But it's a great way to warm up the core anyway.
Yes.
So if she gives me a left, I'm going to move out of it and come back with a cross. If she gives me a right, I'm going to move out of it and come back with a hook. Then she does it again, I'm going to go back with 2 punches. And then here. And 3. And then she's going to do the same thing. Now, I didn't use a lot of body rotation on purpose with this one, but you want to, of course. But start slow because we need to warm up first. Especially if you live in a cold place somewhere in the country or in the world. You're going to feel it if you don't warm up. Start with the left. My mistake.
All right. I was going to keep going with it. Even though I went the wrong way.
Yeah, but that's good. Never stop. Never stop. That's a really great way to warm up your core. And then we have our other defenses. The other defenses now it's pushing it to the side, coming back with the one, coming back. We do only the left for now. Only the left. We're going to do the hardest one. And we're actually going to go over a few that we did before. And we're going to change levels on that. We did that last time, but only with the first punch. We're going to do it with the second punch because that's going to give you some fun combinations. But you will see it because it's very chaotic right now. So if she gives me a left, I'm going to 1, 2, again, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, hook. Okay, so push it to the side, only this far, it's already missing me. Don't bring your hand there, never ever bring your hand down, it's very dangerous. They will trick you, she will throw a jab, a fake one, and I'm going to go, boom, and then the second one's going to be hit. This really works all the time, so don't bring your hand down. You do this to me, I will nail you in the face. And any other professional fighter out there as well. Well, good fighters, they don't even need to be professional because it's a simple thing to do. So watch out. Now, if you're with a partner, you catch the strings on one hand, also the left on left, left on right. Normally it's left on left, right on right. Now it's others for the sake of this exercise. So, boom, I'll give you.
Sorry.
Boom, boom. Yeah, it's hard, right?
Just have to switch.
Yep. Good. Look, see, same thing. 1, 2. Right is easier. Right hand comes, push to the side. You don't have to be here. This is enough. It's already missing my face. Right? Don't bring your hand down again, especially with this one. To the side, come back to the cross. Do it again. Cross, hook. And do it again. Cross, hook, cross. Now the cross, if you're with the partner, is going to end up in the air. Because they simply can't punch. Nobody's that fast. Okay? Because it will go fast. This, if she gives me right straight, this is not the speed. 1, 2. I don't want that. I'll go. Fire right away. She needs to get pushed in there. Boom, boom. That's how fast it needs to go. Right.
That was funny. These totally make me know that I prefer to slip. Did you have a preference when you were fighting, or did you totally?
This one, I like this one a lot.
Oh, you do. Okay.
But on the right straight, I love this one a lot. Here, the liver shot.
Yeah.
I use that one a lot as well. Especially if you're telegraphing the right. That's one of my favorite things to do.
Okay.
Good. Now, of course, you can also land this with a kick. You can add a kick to it. That's an easy one. First, let's go back now to this one. We're going to do the 1, 2, 3, 4 counter. Right? So 1. We already did 3.
Yes.
But now we're going to do 4. So the 1, 2, 3, 4 punch that we have, we're going to use that as a counter on the jab from our opponent. So if the right and left comes, the jab, block, cross. And I call it a cross. I should call it a cross. A straight. It's not a cross. Cross goes to the backhand. It's a straight punch because we're standing square. It's not a jab anymore. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hook. Block. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have that, and we kind of did this already. So because we did it, the second punch is going to go to the body. That gives us a fun combination. 1, boom. Doesn't do anything on the 1. But on the 2, it's whoop, 1, body. On the 3, it's cool. It's 1, body, boom, boom. Straight. Make it an uppercut in that case. I think a right body, left uppercut is a really weird thing to do. And then 4 would be block, 1, body, uppercut, straight. So instead of the left hook, we make it an uppercut. And the second punch is going to go to the body. Okay? So, she jabs. It's 1, boom. And then it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So jab, body, uppercut, straight. That's the 4 combination. 3 is without the last hook, or without the straight. That's it. So slow. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. See? And that's just 4 punches. It makes a completely different one. I really like the right body and the left uppercut. I think it's a very weird thing because you don't see it a lot. And as you heard me say how many times in the last 8 weeks, if you don't see it a lot, use it. Because if people never saw it, you will catch them with it. That's how it goes. That's every time when somebody puts you in a submission, it's probably a setup that you never knew. Right? You're going to, hey, how did he get me in there? Oh, he used a different setup. That's what I used to do with my submissions. Straight armbar from the mount. Let's find 4 different ways to go to that submission. With distractions, with everything. Because if you can create a way that your opponent doesn't know, you're going to be successful with it. That's with striking. That's with submissions. That's with everything. And you can be really good and still fall for it. Trust me. Especially if the person who applies it on you did it 500 times. You see, it made itself one with it. It just came automatically. Okay, here we go again. Yeah?
I'm doing you.
Yeah. Boom. 6 punches. One more, the last one. I'm going to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wow. All over the place.
Yeah, so good.
Good.
It's hard to remember that uppercut.
The
It was
uppercut.
really cool because we started doing that.
You started doing it in class too.
Before everything shut down.
You see,
You're doing that one.
I love that, yeah, because you know, that's why I came up with it, to do it by itself as well, right? But you see, that's how combinations come together.
Mm-hmm.
We're experimenting in class, and suddenly I say, wait a minute, a right body shot with the left uppercut, that's just a very weird thing to do. And then add a cross and a hook, woo, yeah, now it's going to be effective. Or add a kick to it and everything. So, if you jab, we're going to boom, boom, and kick. And we're going to go boom, 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 kick. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, other kick, but that's okay. Boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a left kick. But you see, just adding kicks to it already makes it a crazy combination. Then you also can start mixing up the kicks. You can do it to the body and to the head. And to the legs, of course. That's up to you. So one more time for you.
Okay.
Boom, boom.
Oh, no, okay.
Oh, yeah, okay. Boom, boom.
Yeah, it's fun. So it's a little confusing, but it's fun.
It is, yeah. Now, what you can also do with the cross-hook cross counter, well, cross-hook, and cross-hook cross on the right straight, you can also start changing the angles, right? So let's start with the right body, left hook, right straight. So it's a right body, left hook, right straight. So it's all cross-hook cross, only the first point starts with the body. That's the only pull, switch we pull. Without a kick first. So she gives me a right.
I'll give you a right.
I go boom, body, kick.
With kick or without?
Okay, without kick. I'm just saying without kick, I still do the kick.
Okay.
Whatever. So one more. One, boom.
Okay.
And then it's boom, body, head. Boom, body, head.
Okay.
Boom, body. Boom, body, head. Boom, body, head. Weird, right?
Uh-huh. It is weird.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, and now I have the kicks to it.
Okay, kick after each one. Okay, got it. Okay. That one's less confusing than the first one.
Yeah, the second part is what we can also do now. Cross liver, cross. This is the next one. So if you're onto the southpaw, it's a spleen shot. You change to a spleen shot. So now it's head, body, head. Now let's do it right away with the kicks.
Okay.
Okay? So,
I'm
it's
giving you what again? I'm giving you
right
a cross.
straight. Yeah.
Okay.
Boom, boom, kick.
Oh yeah, that's hard to catch.
Boom, boom, boom. Oh, you can't.
Okay.
Don't worry about
right,
it.
Right.
Boom, cross, kick.
That I can't catch any of it apparently.
Well, the last one, it's hard.
Yeah.
If you do body shots.
Okay.
And
And then
you-
because we're missing the first catch. Yeah, that whole thing is weird.
Yes, good. So now screw it to the side.
Okay.
So you push, boom, kick.
Okay.
Boom, 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 kick. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. See, for me also it's hard to catch at the end of the right straight. But get used to it. You see, so needs to say, we didn't do this enough. You gotta start doing it a lot. And then again, you can grind it in, and make sure you start kicking to different places as well. Head kicks, middle kicks, and low kicks. All mix it up. This is important.
And bookmark these ones, so if you guys don't have a partner now, save these videos to your list so that you can go back and do these with a partner. Because it's really cool to do them with a partner.
Good.
Then you guys both can get confused.
But we do this 4 times in a row, you got it.
Yeah.
It's going to go fast.
Yeah.
It's just like doing it a few times, and because every time we break the habit, that's always creates a little problem in the beginning, but it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Countering kicks. This is very important. And the speed with what you do it with is very important, as well as the most important. Preferably, what I always say, if somebody kicks me, I'm going to block that kick. The block is automatically the loader for my counter. And then I want to nail that counter in the face while he stands or she still on one leg. That's how fast it needs to go. So if somebody gives me an inside low, it's not block and kick. It's literally right away. It's almost like I want to load up a real fast right straight like this, boom, boom. But you see the load up is already with my foot jamming the kick and right away come back with a straight. So it goes fast. Punch! What I always say, It's block punch, one word. It's not block dash punch. Block punch. So inside low kick goes really fast. If she gives me an inside low kick,
What are you countering with?
I'm with the right straight.
With the right straight.
I'm going to go.
And I
Show it again.
Yeah, it's
Right away.
catch.
It's very.
Because
Yeah.
you're still kicking.
You want to nail it in the face before the foot, and that's a hard one because it's the front leg. It's very close to me, so that leg is faster on the ground than with the right. If she does it with the right, no, it's
Really hard to catch.
yeah, boom, boom. You know that, and but it's because she's gonna have to go all the way
Right.
back. Now with the right kick, what I always talk about, I like to hit the body. You know, in the opening of this, we were talking about breathing, and you breathe out when you punch to flex, and you breathe in when your body is not protected again, right? But there is a moment that you're breathing in and your body is still open. That's the moment you want to wait for, and that's why you want to kick somebody with. How did I want to address? Oh, so with the right kick, what I'm doing, I'm waiting, and it's going to be a left straight to the body, so a left body, and then a right straight, and whatever we want to follow it up with. Most of the time, a left hook and a right low kick is always a good combination to do. But the body shot first. Look, she gives me right kick to the body. Boom, body, head, head. She will be breathing in when I hit that body shot. Trust me on this. You start working on it and sparring, you'll be amazed how many people you're going to drop because they're breathing in. It's a very cool thing to do. Let's do it on. Let's do it only with hooks in the beginning. So she's going to give me a right inside low kick and come back with a cross, and outside low kick and come back with a hook. And then she gives me an inside low kick again, come back with a cross hook, outside low kick, hook cross. And then another again, cross hook cross and hook cross hook. So it's 1 punch, 2 punch, 3 punch. That's it, on both sides. But try to do it fast. Try to contract those muscles. Make them work, because the more you use that, the more you do that, the faster you teach it to become fast. It's important that you do it. Because you're doing this, it's not going to do anything. It's like the same when I say to people, if you do every day 50 push-ups, you're never going to do more push-ups. It makes no sense. If you do 3 times a day, 4 days a week, as many push-ups as you can. So you push as hard as you can. You wait 2 minutes, push-ups as many as you can. And then one more time, and you do it only 4 times a week. You can do an incredible amount of push-ups after 6 weeks. That's how fast you teach the body. But if you say every day I do 20 push-ups, you can only do 20 push-ups. You're not pushing it. You got to push through that barrier every time. Break down the muscles. That's what you're doing when you train. You're literally killing your muscles. But then if you give them rest and protein, guess what? They're going to come back stronger. Works with everything in the body. Your mind too. Your bones too. If you break a bone and you set it, and you let it heal the correct way, it will never break at that same spot again. If the next time a break comes, it's probably next to the spot, because that spot is actually stronger now. You can apply this to everything in your head. In your brain, in your muscle, everything is the same. That's why our bodies are such an amazing tools. So 1 punch, no kicks yet. So she gives me, inside low kicks, no outside low kicks. So I'm going to go boom, boom, and then she gives me,
Right one?
yeah, boom, boom, yeah. See, I already hit her before she puts that foot down. That is important to do. Like that's why I said just doing this in the air, just doing that, it will make you faster. Believe it or not, you're teaching your people, your muscles to contract faster. It doesn't need to be powerful, just on speed. And then once you have the speed, you add your body weight and the power to it. There we go. I'm going to keep.
Partner, if you have a partner, these aren't really technical kicks, because if I made a big technical kick,
Yeah,
I couldn't catch his punch.
Yeah, especially with the right, if she gives me a right low kick, she turns all the way in, it's very hard to catch my left hook. So her kicks, very good that you say that. Are going to be, they're going to look for you guys, they're going to look stupid. But it's not for that, it's for me. This drill is for me to block and counter. Okay, so I'm going to kick her now. Alright, well, we're doing it already, might as well add some kicks to it, right? Do the middle kicks. It's harder to do the middle kicks. The first one I like a lot, because 1 punch, 1 kick, I told this now for the last 8 weeks. I love that counter. Because if you look at counters from people, most of the time it's just one big punch. It's never a combination. Now, I like 3 punches at a counter, I like that as well, but 1 punch and a kick, you don't see it a lot. And that's why I like it. And you can go fast. Look. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, I can go really fast with that. See that? Right. No, that was good.
Oh, okay.
That was 2 punches.
Okay.
That was the back one.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah. Oh. You see, that makes it all much funner. Then also this exact same drill you want to do to the body. Because your distance is different with a body kick and a head kick. I would say that this for a low kick and a head kick are almost identical. And the middle kick is a little longer, further away you can do that. Now, it doesn't really care if you hit the low kick and the head kick with, let's say, the instep, and then the middle kick with the middle part of the shin. Well, actually, yeah, with the middle part of the shin because it's further away. Am I correct with this? Yeah.
You might hit the body lower on the shin.
You here,
further
boom,
away.
and here lower, see, then it's with the foot. That's at the same distance. So it's both good, but for the right low kick, for instance, I would love to stand here for the right low kick, very close. I would like to use a stretched leg, drop the stretched leg on her. Just this me doing this. She already feels this now. There's no power whatsoever. It's just using the weight of my leg with a stretched leg and just let it fall in there. You do this without a shin protection, she's really going to be feeling this right now, even with that speed what I just did. So it's a very powerful kick. But then the middle kick, you see, so the low kick I'm standing here, but the middle kick I'm probably standing a little further away. Yeah, but boss, it's only like 4 inches. That's everything in fighting. Everything is distance. Hitting the perfect side. So 4 inches is a big thing in fighting. That's 4 inches further away. That's maybe just outside the reach of her punches. I mean, but you can think about so many things. 2 inches can make a big difference. You know? That's what she's like. But, you know, okay, I'm not going to go over the inches anymore because now it's in my head. That's the best comment ever. I do this everywhere with my kids and my wife is so ashamed when I do this in the restaurant. When the waiter says something, oh yeah, I say, so it goes in the oven, oh yeah, it goes all the way in. So that's what she said. And then they look at me and the kids start laughing. My wife's completely embarrassed.
I love how you do it with the kid, with the girls.
They told me this. They told me they watched The Office, right? The TV show The Office. That's where it's come from. So, but you see the speed we're doing this, right? Boom, bam, kick. Boom, boom, bam, kick. Fast, and speed. No need to tell you that all these drills that I'm telling you right now, you want to do on the back. Block, punch, low kick. Block, punch, left low kick. Block, punch, hook, right low kick. And maybe do 4 punches. Block, cross, hook, and a right low kick again. And do that over and over and over again. And once you feel, oh, it's there, now start changing angles. Cross liver, cross. Cross liver, cross left hook. Or cross hook, cross liver shot. You see, you start changing the angles on it with the kicks over and over again. Ingrind it. And then it will become second nature. That's your word. Okay, this is for punches, this is for kicks. Slipping kicks, I love that as well. Slipping kicks, inside low kicks, most of the time I'll let you miss me. If I want to counter with a punch, I'll take the low kick. If somebody stands in front of me in a bladed position, I don't even let him miss because that kick's not going to do anything. If she stands in a bladed position in front of me, there's no way she can generate enough power to hurt me. There's no way. And for me, boom, that's my counter. It's such a fast counter. So if somebody's in a bladed position and they start doing those inside low kicks, don't worry. The most what he can give you is like a rash, like your skin is going to hurt. Oh, it doesn't have any power. Not if you're a fighter. Like a guy on the street who has no clue what to do, I can understand it might hurt him. But for a fighter, if you complain about that kind of impact, well, you shouldn't be a fighter. You should, and don't tell anybody.
Like the guy that told you his skin was hurting.
Yeah. In this room where we were standing, professional kickboxer. Had to stop because the skin on his chin was hurting. I go, dude, that's it. I'm out. I'm not going to train you anymore. I'm an idiot. You know, I told you about this also. So these people, they come in and they ask me to break everything down and to tell them what they are doing wrong, right? So I watch them train. And I know I'll see things fast. That's the thing that I do know I can. I see mistakes fast. So I start loading them up in my mind. And so he came back and he said the mistake he made was the mistake I told you guys about Loki. So if I want to give a perfect Loki, he would do this.
Oh.
And then kick.
Take the power away.
Yeah. And he thinks in his mind it's longer on its way, it has more power, but officially that's not the case. I want to go, like, if I'm putting my foot straight in her, this is kind of the end of my kick there, see? This is the end. The real power is just before that end. So if I put my foot here, see? Now my end of my kick is going to be here. That means I'm going to go through the target. Boom. So he did like 8 things wrong. He says, okay, give me the down dog. I say, you did like 8 things wrong. He says, oh, give it to me. I said, no, I give you 1. 1. And you fix it, I'm going to get you number 2. Okay? I think 3 weeks later, he's training here. And he comes to me now, he's angry. He says, hey, where are the other things? You said you were going to do the other things. I said, you didn't fix the first one. He didn't even fix the first one. For 3 weeks, still didn't do it. So, see, then I'm out. Because then you're not really want to be a fighter.
Yeah.
But if I'm telling you what to do and you don't do it, what's the use of me being there? I'm not going to be there. So always think about that. You see this a lot. A lot of people do the same thing with a left kick, for instance. Like if she stands and kick to the body, then move the foot here. That's all, the kick is gone. The power is gone. It's really weird how this works, guys. You have to go shoulder width. If your opponent says shoulder width, there's 2 lines on the floor. That's what I always say. And you can do this on a back. If you train on a back, I had that all the time when training on a back. And I was a professional fighter, and I did that. So for you, it's probably really good to do it as well. Constant, remind yourself, good footwork, good footwork. Those feet are always on those lines. Or outside, I'm okay with that as well. But never ever inside. Never. So if I give a right low kick, an inside low kick, especially now, because otherwise this is the end of my kick. See? But if I do this, now I'm going to go through the target. Way more effective. Right low kick, I just stay on the same line and I'm going to go straight to the target. That's how many times you see somebody bringing up a head kick in UFC, in Bellator, anywhere, and it doesn't, bless you.
Thank you.
It doesn't have a real impact. It's because at the end of the kick. I'm pretty sure if you rewind that tape, at the moment they kick, they will put the foot here, and that's how they high kick. And then the power is gone. That's why I'm also so anal about catching punches. Again, I've talked about that. We only did that one time, but I will show you in a bit also. Catching punches for your partner needs to be done in front of your face. Because if I do this for a right straight left hook, my partner right now is fighting 2 guys. There's one head, and he has another head. That's why I don't believe in those boxing master things, but straight on this, straight on that, hook is there, and there's a good short hook. You got 6 targets now. That's not a real body, and not a real person. Now, you can only imagine, if I let Dana only do focus mitts, and I'm holding a cross hook like this, watch this. Boom, boom. Yeah, she can generate a lot of power with that hook, right? Because it travels a lot. But guess what? Now suddenly she's in a fight, and the real target is here. There's no load up for her now. Because she's been taught that the target is there the whole time. There's the load up. So she will never bring a shoulder back. So if I'm with a student, and I'm standing on this side, I can show you, and I realize they don't load up their left hooks, this is what I'm going to be the annoying guy. So normally I want to have the hook here. But if I see she doesn't load up, I'm going to push it here. I'm going to force her, see? I'll force her to load it up. Because if she doesn't, she can't generate any power. That is everything in fighting, guys. Really start focusing on that. You know, the distance and hold everything in front of you. And another thing, distance with a body pad. Right straight liver shot. Now I don't wear a body pad. Imagine, suddenly my head is not here, my head is here. And my body should be here. So now if she gives a liver shot, sometimes that back foot might move while she gives a liver shot, and there's no power in that punch. But just know that without me catching, if she gets into my face, see, now she'd prefer for the liver shot. But with the hand, now it's too far away. So that's why I like to wear, for instance, this thing.
Show you some of the gadgets that he uses.
It's a thick body pad. And I only use the thick body pad because now if I bring the head here, then the body is here, like a real person. All these little inches make an incredible amount of difference. With kicks, I met a guy, and I think I mentioned it also once, and he got really offended by it, and then I stopped doing it to professional fights. He came on the use of on Inside MMA on the show that I had. And I saw him in the fight before. He was trying to kick the crap out of his opponent, and he has big legs, his hard kicks, but every time in the book, the power was gone. He didn't really hit the body hard. So when he came in, I tried to help him, give him some constructive criticism. The first thing I say, hey, you guys in the gym have really thick kicking shields, right? And he goes, how do you know? I say, you can tell by your kicks. So what happened with him was, the kicking shield was so thick that he was constantly like, if she's holding the shield, and that shield was a double thickness shield, now he's used to kicking here, constantly. That's a lot of difference. So now with him being focused on that and suddenly the shield being gone, he still had the same footwork. So now she stands outside the line where the power is, and you move the kick. And instead of him saying, hey, thank you, because that makes total sense, he got offended. I go, oh, maybe I shouldn't do it anymore. Maybe people, I know we have egos, but I know one thing. Once I let my ego go and I listen to constructive criticism, many times it's not good. Not with me. I have an answer right away. But it's always healthy to listen. Because sometimes a guy's right. And I go, oh, maybe he's half right. I go, wait a minute, I didn't think of that. Oh, wow, wait a minute. If I combine it like that to what I'm doing now, I can even generate more power, you see? So always listen and take it. Let your ego go, because it's a big difference.
Yeah, lots of people that either want to be fighters or are fighters have asked you what's the best piece of advice you've ever received, and that's always his answer.
Yep.
Listen to constructive criticism.
Listen to constructive criticism. Everybody has something. That's okay.
Yeah.
So,
55.
What's another thing? 55?
56.
56. What's another thing? Okay, so with that said, and we've been doing this here as well, if somebody kicks me to the body, they focus on delivering the power here. So that means if they kick and I just simply do this, the power is gone. Remember we had that drill? Mm-hmm. So she kicks with the right, I go ahead here, and I go whoop to the side, and then she kicks with the left, and I go whoop to the side. And you can literally, normally, when I go to a seminar, I'll pick the biggest guy up, so who can kick you really freaking hard here? And then somebody puts their hands up and say, okay, kick me. I don't stand on what I'm going to do. I say, I want you to kick me really hard in my side. Just don't worry about me. Just kick really hard. And then they start loading up, and as soon as they kick, the only thing I do is this. And the power is completely out. Now, if I would tell them that I'm going to do this, they're not going to focus on this part. They're going to drive the power through, and then, of course, I might get hurt. But you never know when that's going to happen in the fight. And now you might say, but boss, what if they always kick like going through? Oh, well, then they're gonna jam the kick. So that's the thing about distance, what I always say. It's very hard because you have to apply it at the moment. When you do something, when you slide, when you counter, when you step in, when like for instance, when I say the inside low kick countering with the right straight and do it fast, a lot of people identify with aggression, which is great as long as it's controlled aggression. But what happens a lot in fighting is like, if she gives me an inside low kick, I do it. See, they close the distance too much. Now I'm jamming myself. But if I stay here, now it's a long punch. It has way more power than when I come forward. You see, so sometimes speed and power, don't confuse that with anger, because anger will want you to come closer to your opponent. You want to hurt him a lot, not realizing if you hurt him a lot, you're jamming your punches, you're jamming your kicks, knees, elbows, whatever it is. Okay, so always focus on that. Now, you have something else? What is another question we have? Shall I look real fast? You never know. Somebody goes like, hey.
One thing I was going to add.
Good.
Remember when you were talking about how to toughen up the shins, and you said you could put an old tire on, something. If they line up, so say this is like when we hold pads for each other, but assuming you don't have a pad. If this is my old tire on my target or whatever, line yourself up how Bas was talking about. So don't line yourself up out here to throw the kick because there's no power. Line yourself up so that you're square with your fake leg.
And then it goes straight through. That thing, because your mind will tell you it has not power, But I'm telling you, trust me, you're gonna have so much more power. That's literally how you can generate force. Otherwise, you can't generate unset line. And everybody makes that mistake.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it, because when we line
They
up,
all do that.
the people line up in class, and if I'm holding a pad for them, they all
do this.
they all do that.
Yeah.
And then I move, and then they
you're
move.
doing it, yeah. And you go, I move for a reason, idiot. You know, yeah. But you see,
Start working with partners.
working with partners, distance. Also, if I hold the shield for her, I try to just bounce it.
Mm-hmm.
If every time when she kicks, I bring it forward, you see, now I bring the target suddenly to her. That's also not good. Just hold, just flex, just flex. And by the way, holding a shield, this is the way you hold a shield. Your strong arm goes in, whatever it is. Strong arm goes in. Swishy said. So, the elbow stays here, and you hold this here. A lot of guys hold it like this with the elbow. But you can understand that if I tell her to kick a shin kick now, yeah, she's going to kick with her foot on my elbow, and that is going to hurt, and especially without shin guards. Keep that elbow here. That is for the left kicks. For the right kicks, oh wait, I'm going to give you the best trick. You're going to be so amazed right now. That's the right kick. You see, everybody, normally, right kick, oh, left. Left, oh, I don't right. Just straight. Boom, right. Boom, left. You know, the only thing you have to watch out over the really hard kicker is this fist here. Because if he's a really hard kicker, sometimes they kick still to the shield and they might hurt their foot on the wrist. But on the fist. That doesn't happen a lot. No, because those kind of guys, they're used to the impact.
And a lot of times, we're not kicking the shields with shin guards. I just did that because they were still on. But usually, like, that's creating way too much false distance. So.
Yep, all about that. That's why I was one time in Canada. And I hope this person is watching. It will be great. I think it was in Prince George. That's where I got the injury. And somebody showed me a body pad that I could kick as hard as I wanted. And he had it on. I go, are you sure you want to do this? So I first gave him a soft kick. And he says, no, it's good. It's not good. And apparently that thing that spread out the impact over his entire body. Wow. I kicked this guy so hard, he would fly through the air, zero pain. Yeah. I go, whoa, I like that, you know, because that's kind of cool as well to have. Now, also, when you, for instance, fight an opponent with a long reach, what I would do is ask all your sparring partners, start hitting the forehead, and then put on a thick hedge protecting thing. Because if your opponent has a 4-inch reach over you, put a 4-inch layer on your forehead from your headgear. Now, we both have the same reach. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if you ask him only to hit the forehead, you can at least get used to the distance of the opponent that you're going to fight. Because if you're going to find it out on fight day, that's not a fun thing. If you're used to fighting somebody with 75 inches and that guy has an 82, you're going to get knocked out. I mean, you're standing at a complete different distance. And that's only a couple of inches. You see, so inches make big differences.
That's what she said.
And now she did it. See? Coming from a woman?
I knew you wanted to.
Of course.
So I just said it for you.
Thank you very much, Dana.
Welcome.
So, I know, it was very technical, guys, this workout. I hope you enjoyed it because there's a lot of information in there. I think that you should look at it a few times. If you don't get it, watch it again. Try to understand it because once you start understanding it, with over-exaggeration, everything will become better. You know, it's just doing it. And whatever you don't like, do that a lot. Well, I say whatever you don't like, but is part of your job, do that a lot. That's what I say. Because whatever you don't like, and it's not a part of your job, doesn't make any money, who cares? Right? But if it's part of your job, whatever it is, try to understand it. Understanding is making it interesting. Yeah. And interesting makes it fun. Fun makes you want to do it a lot. And bada bing, bada boom, you become good.
And if you guys want more intense, go back to yesterday's workout.
Yeah.
Or any other.
Just repeat that 30-minute workout. Well, we have 8 of them now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we have a lot.
Yeah, 8 Wednesday workouts. Go to do Wednesday workouts.
The first 2 weeks we didn't go.
No.
Workout.
6-1.
Yeah. Still, we have a lot. We have a lot in the library.
Yeah.
But this is good, valuable information, and it's a lot of stuff that, as you regulars know, he gets asked about in the Q&A. So to take the time to talk about it and demonstrate it, I think is highly valuable.
Yep. So tomorrow we're going to do a good workout again. We'll do the warm-up and do everything, and we'll make it nice. Saturday's the Q&A, Sunday stretching and recovering with Dana. And then we got Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday next week. So we're going to skip a few days there. Okay, Dana, anything?
All right. Just keep it going, you guys, even next week. If we're skipping a few days, please either go back to some of the other workouts because you have a big library, or get some strength training in, or walk in nature, hiking, anything. Keep on your routine. If you are religious, try to keep this routine of still doing something during this hour.
Yeah, then it doesn't become so difficult when we restart this. It's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, very good advice. I second that. Okay, guys, feet. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a harder workout. Today was more technical.
Yes. Thank you for the